Hi friends, today we're going to talk about a hyper-important topic if you want to succeed financially and achieve financial freedom. We're going to draw on the advice of Robert Kiyosaki, the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, who has helped millions of people change their mentality towards money. According to Robert, until you sacrifice these 8 things in your life, you'll never be rich. It may sound like a harsh truth, but it's the key to long-term financial success. Are you willing to make these sacrifices? That's the big question. Before we get to the heart of the matter, let me capture your attention with a little story. Imagine a young man full of dreams, just starting out in life. Like most of us, his greatest wish is to earn a good living so he can enjoy the finer things in life and be financially free. But as the years go by, despite all his efforts, he remains stuck in a spinning wheel, never progressing towards his goals. Worse still, the more time passes, the deeper he sinks into a rut from which he can barely extricate himself. One day, tired of this situation, he decides to go and see a wealthy mentor who opens his eyes. The mentor explains that to change direction, he must first change his behavior and priorities. And it's this crucial message that I'd like to share with you today. The cornerstone of financial freedom lies in our ability to question old habits and adopt a new way of thinking and acting. As Robert Kiyosaki so aptly put it, the rich don't make money because they make more money, but because they have a better philosophy of life. In this long, detailed talk, I'm going to reveal the 8 crucial things you absolutely must sacrifice if you want to embrace a bright future where money is no longer a drag but a springboard to fulfillment. Ready to change your life? Let's get started. Sacrifice number 1. Sacrifice your frenzied desire to consume. The number one trap that keeps most people in financial mediocrity is their unbridled consumer drive. We want everything, right now, no matter what the cost. We sink into credit to satisfy our ephemeral desires instead of saving for our future. Robert Kiyosaki makes an implacable observation: the main reason why most people will never become rich is that they are prisoners of the cult of excessive consumption and the irrepressible desire to buy. If you want to change your trajectory, you're going to have to learn to discern the superfluous from the necessary, and muzzle your consumer greed. It's a huge sacrifice of ego, but it's worth it. Instead of blowing your salary on frivolous needs, start putting money aside methodically every month. Start from the premise that every euro or dollar you spend needs to be scrutinized. Is it really essential to my survival and well-being? Do I already have a similar product that does the job? Am I still giving in to a passing desire that won't bring me any lasting benefits? If you manage to muzzle this unbridled consumerism, you'll soon realize that you're saving several hundred, even thousands of dollars a month, depending on your lifestyle. That's real money, which can be invested wisely and make you wealthier year after year. A philosophical shift of the utmost importance. Sacrifice number 2. Give up your salaried job for life. Many people spend their lives in a salaried job that barely allows them to make ends meet. Low incomes, limited opportunities for advancement, constant risk of redundancy. The harsh reality of the working world when you're a small link in the chain. Robert Kiyosaki puts it bluntly: the biggest financial risk people take is to be a wage earner for the rest of their lives. So you need to give up this wage earner mentality, which will only keep you in a financial prison for life. Because you see, the wealthy don't draw their fortune from limited active income, but from passive income that pays them without them having to sell their time for money. To access this freedom, you need to become an entrepreneur who thinks assets. Create a business, products, and investments that will bring you recurring cash flow while you do little or no work. This sacrifice of a reassuring but stifling salaried life can be frightening. But don't worry, many have successfully taken this path before you. Entrepreneurship is not an end in itself, but simply a means of creating the financial windfall you need to live out your wildest dreams. Sacrifice number 3. Banish reckless debt. Debt is the tombstone of the dream of financial freedom. This powerful phrase by Robert Kiyosaki should be your new mantra to constantly meditate on. How many people around you are burdened with debts they can no longer honor? It's a burden that crushes them and robs them of any chance of freedom. It's time to put an end to this easy way of taking on debt to finance a lifestyle beyond your means. The more you overextend yourself, the harder it will be to invest in your future. Debt is a burden that will spoil all your efforts, so avoid it like the plague. Certainly, in the world of business and investment, debt can be a judicious tool when it's controlled and productive. But in your personal life, aim for absolute financial independence by living within your means. That's how you'll free up the cash you need to invest and grow your assets. Sacrifice number 4. Stop counting on a miracle. How many people still dream of hitting the jackpot or miraculously hitting the jackpot to achieve financial prosperity? A mirage that Robert Kiyosaki vigorously denounces. Hope is not a viable investment plan. Favoring chance over a safe, proven process to create financial wealth is a strategy doomed to failure. If you want to succeed and see your life change, you need to stop waiting for divine intervention or an unlikely stroke of luck. Financial freedom doesn't fall from the sky, it's built through hard work, sacrifice, and a relentless plan of action. Instead of relying on a sudden providential windfall, you need to forge a genuine wealth creation strategy based on solid foundations. Define clear objectives, a well-thought-out investment plan, methodical savings. In short, arm yourself with a process that, with perseverance, will undoubtedly lead you to your goal. It's the only sustainable and reliable way to achieve long-term financial independence. Sacrifice number 5. Abandon your preconceived notion of wealth. The rich buy assets, the rest of us buy debt. This powerful quote from Robert Kiyosaki perfectly illustrates the fundamental difference in mentality between the haves and the have-nots. Too many people have a distorted image of what wealth really is. They associate it with a nice, state-of-the-art car, luxury clothes, a big vacation. In short, ostentatious wealth is just the tip of the iceberg. To become financially free, you must abandon these misleading cliches. Real, lasting wealth isn't something you flaunt, it's something you build by buying assets that will bring you recurring cash flow, real estate investments, shares in successful companies, judicious stock market investments. As long as you remain trapped in this preconceived idea of bling-bling wealth, you'll continue to spend your money on trivia instead of making it work for you. Change your mindset. Sacrifice number 6. Break with your financial illiteracy. According to studies, around 65% of the population suffers from financial illiteracy. A terrible handicap that prevents them from making the right decisions to build lasting wealth. As Robert Kiyosaki puts it, when it comes to money, people's main problem is their lack of knowledge. That's what causes them to make catastrophic financial decisions over and over again. If you want to transform your life, you're going to have to break with this ignorance and forge yourself a solid financial education. Immerse yourself in books, training courses, seminars. Anything that can give you the keys to understanding the mechanisms of finance, investment, and wealth creation. Don't be afraid to devote time and resources to this education. It's the best investment you can make in your future. The more competent you are, the better you'll be able to make your money work for you, instead of wasting it foolishly. Sacrifice number 7. Let go of your comfort zone. Here's a sacrifice that may seem destabilizing, but is nonetheless indispensable. According to Robert Kiyosaki, the path to authentic wealth inevitably involves stepping out of your reassuring but stifling comfort zone. Whether out of fear, laziness, or lack of ambition, most people lock themselves into a routine that may be reassuring, but will forever prevent them from realizing their wildest dreams. They develop an aversion to risk and challenge. To rise above financial mediocrity, you need to be ready to face your fears and move beyond your comfortable habits. Step out of line, dare, question yourself. That's how new, unsuspected perspectives will open up to you. Don't remain trapped in this deceptive comfort zone. Move, try, fail if necessary, but learn. It's the only way to progress and achieve the freedom you've always dreamed of. Sacrifice number 8. Free yourself from the poor man's mentality. According to Robert Kiyosaki, the last thing you need to sacrifice is the poor man's mentality, which is instilled in us from the cradle and holds us back from future success. The rich see opportunities everywhere, while the poor see only potential risks. This explains their inability to break out of their condition, insists the best-selling author. Stop seeing every project, every investment as a danger. Change your thinking to that of a wealthy investor who focuses on potential gains rather than potential losses. Forget that nagging belief that money can't buy happiness. A damaging misconception that keeps so many people in a precarious situation. Money certainly isn't happiness, but it's still a formidable tool for giving you the means to realize your wildest dreams. You've just discovered the 8 fundamental sacrifices Robert Kiyosaki urges you to make in order to transform your life and achieve lasting financial wealth. I know, some of these changes may seem radical, even frightening. But fear not, millions of people have already successfully taken this path by stepping out of their comfort zones. Remember, as the author so aptly puts it, true financial freedom requires a price. the sacrifice of your old habits and limiting beliefs. So, are you willing to pay that price to finally live the life of your dreams? Rise above the mediocre majority who trample in their ruts. Dare to become a homo richissimus, a being finally freed from the shackles of poverty. It's up to you now. What will you sacrifice first to start your revolution?